What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Final Victory Mighty Warriors Reckless Combat, which is their version of a Huffer. So this is supposed to be kind of a low-cost masterpiece-ish option for Huffer. We do have the Bad Cube already and the Cube X, which is the original version of Bad Cube. This is actually one of a set of three. You can now buy this on its own without the set of three. But if you wanted the set of three, these are the other two that come with it. Their version of Brawn and their version of Warpath. Both of them look kind of wonky to me. This one looked the least wonky of the three, so I decided to get it. I don't have a Huffer, so this is kind of a placeholder. Here's the back. You get some product images of the vehicle in robot mode. It also comes with an instruction manual. And it's very, very simple. It's literally one page with instructions. Not the best instructions. Everything on here is meant to be low cost. You know, they're trying to really make this as low cost as possible. And then you get a collector's card. Collector's card is not too bad. Nice thick plastic card quality. You got an image there, and then you got his stats here. But that's really it for the packaging. Let's get this guy out here and take a look how good he really is. And here he is out of the packaging. I keep forgetting his name. Reckless Combat. Their version of Huffer, but let's take a quick 360. While we're doing this, let me put the G1 cartoon up here so you can take a look. And we can do a comparison. Pretty good. There's some things that they've taken liberties with for sure. I believe these tires, I don't think they had that in the cartoon. This looks pretty good, not too bad. Oh, I forgot to fold these in. Here's the back. You do have some screws and stuff like that, but usually you have that kind of stuff on the back. Overall, pretty good look all around. You do have paint on this guy, not a lot, but there's some. So you have paint on these thighs here, or sorry, these shins. Those are both painted orange. You can tell it's like a slightly different orange than the rest of it. You've got blue paint here on the chest. I think this is die cast. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I can feel it. It feels like die cast right here. So there is die cast in here. These are, by the way, these are also die cast. So it looks like they just painted the die cast pieces. I'm not sure why, but all the pieces that are die cast are painted. Overall, pretty nice and tight. Nothing really moves around at all. And I was expecting that for this figure of this price. By the way, this was $35 from Baba Bobo. The link will be in the description below if you want to buy one of your own. You can buy these individually at roughly $35 each, or you can buy the set for, I think it's around 100, maybe a little less than 100. But just know what you're getting, right? So you're getting a budget masterpiece figure. You're not getting, you know, fans toys or, you know, something of that caliber. So let's go into articulation. He has pretty good articulation for what he is and for what he costs. The head, and that's one of the issues, that it doesn't really lock in there, but the head is on a ball joint, and if you just get this out of the way for a second, you can rotate all the way around, and it does go up that much and down that much. That's pretty much all. We'll just get this backpack plugged back in. The backpack does plug in very, very nice and secure. It's not going anywhere. The face sculpt itself definitely leaves something to be desired. It kind of looks like he has a Magneto helmet on. You know, it's just too big of a helmet. You can take this off. Obviously, that looks no good, but it's really the helmet is just too big. It's too wide, especially in that front area. They put too much plastic on the front, so it ends up not looking like the G1 cartoon in the face. But overall, not too bad. It's not so far off that I'd, you know, throw it in the trash. You continue on with the articulation. You do have a rotation here. This also tends to pop out, and the reason is this joint is so tight. You can hear it. It's got that Fans Toys squeak, except it doesn't have that Fans Toys quality. It's really tight here. And because of that, you end up, you know, sometimes pulling this out. It's not loose. You know, it's not coming out or anything. It's just as you're rotating this really tight joint, it tends to come out. Same here. This is overly tight. I don't know why it's this tight, but you have a rotation at the bicep. You have a single jointed, you know, let's get this back in here. You have a single jointed elbow that gets you 90 degrees. You just have to make sure you have this pulled out all the way. Sometimes it's not pulled out all the way if you just transformed it. But with it pulled out all the way, you get 90 degrees. You have rotation at the wrist. No articulation on the fingers. The fingers are all just solid. They don't move. That is the kind of the way for these smaller figures, although usually they have at least a single pin. But this one doesn't have a single pin. The gun just pegs into the hand, and it fits fine. It's not loose or anything. You do have a rotation at the waist. You have a very nice ab crunch. You get side to side like that, and then you get an ab crunch this way, all the way down there, and then back to there. So plenty of ab crunch. I was not expecting that. I thought on a cheap figure like this, you wouldn't have that much ab crunch, but there's a lot of movement in that area. You do have a hip skirt here, and you can rotate the leg all the way through there on, I guess, what I would call a soft ratchet. So it does have ratchet clicks, and it's a light foot leg, so it doesn't need a heavy ratchet there. But then going out this way, it's got one of those squeaky joints. It is ratcheted, but it doesn't sound good at all. But anyway, you get plenty of articulation. Going back, not a lot, although you don't really need it, but it gets up to there, and then it gets hindered by this back piece here. You do have a rotation at the thigh, although it's pretty tight. It is starting to loosen up now that I've been playing with it. But you get a nice rotation there. Again, things are a little too tight. They needed to be better with the tolerances here. You get a single jointed knee. You get your 90 degrees. You get an ankle tilt all the way to there. It is on this extension, so you can get it way out. And you also get a toe tilt this way, so ankle rocker and a toe tilt. You got plenty of movement there on the legs. Again, that was surprising to me too. I thought on a cheap figure like this, you're not going to get the articulation you need. There he is with the Masterpiece Bumblebee. Yes, I have him on the skis for Neptune, X-Trans Bus Neptune. But pretty good scale there. You might argue he's a little bit small because these are all mini bots, but good enough for me. And there he is with the Transform Element Optimus Prime. That looks pretty good together. I do like the size, but like I said before, with the blue streak, it's just a little bit too tall. Now let's get this guy transformed into his vehicle mode. First, you have to get these guns out of here. I do like that everything pegs in nice and secure. You know, nothing falls out or is loose. All right, so let's get this going. So first, you can push the hands in. If you need a little help, you can pull these little pins right here to get all the way in. Same on this side. And then you're going to compress the arms down until they're completely flat. Same on this side. And if you've rotated, just make sure you have it straight and then push it in. Okay. You can detach these arms from the sides and just leave them for now. Unpeg the backpack, and that'll allow you to push the head down and in. It was kind of already falling in, but there you go. And then just leave this here for now. We're going to take care of that a little bit later. All right, so for the feet, fold the bottom in and then fold this back. Same on this side. Pretty simple. And then peg this back in. It does kind of snap in there. Open up the front of the leg and then accordion this down inside. And you want these to end up matching up with these. By the way, this is die cast. You can see that there. And get this rotated inwards. A little bit tricky. And if you don't have it lined up, it won't close, so you know you've got to make an adjustment, and then you can close that up. Same on this side. Open this up. Get this accordion down, and then make sure you have that lined up, and then close off the panel. Now you can push these legs together, and they do peg together. There's actually two pegs there, here and here. Fold these down for now and compress the abs or the midsection down so it's compressed like that. Leave these rotated down, but you're going to rotate the arm up. Again, that doesn't feel good, but that's just the way it is. Rotate this up and leave that there. Push these upwards so that they're sitting flush up there. Same on this side, push this upwards so it's sitting flush. Now we can take care of this top part. So get the wheels out of here, and if you need some help, you can use a spudger just to get it started, get it going. Rotate this out, and then you're going to pull it down on this slider here. Okay. Same on this side. Get it popped up, and then slide it down on the slider so it's all the way back. And then take this piece, and that's going to collapse down on top of the truck, and just open up the wheels for now. You can see how this is going to kind of go together. And on the front, you're going to have two little tabs there. Those are going to fit in, and you can kind of feel your way, and they tab in pretty nicely. And then on the back, you have another two tabs here that are going to fit in on the back. And if you have trouble getting that in, you'll have to potentially adjust the ab crunch here, but push that in and then push those two tabs in so it's nice and secure. Oh, this came undone. And then the last step here is take these panels, pull those down, straighten out the wheels. The wheels should just sit right in there on both sides. On one more step, you take this panel here, and that's going to tab in here on the bottom, and that fits in nice securely. Then you can tab these onto there, and finally rotate out these rear view mirrors. And here you have Reckless Combat in his vehicle mode, and it's pretty nice vehicle mode. I mean, it's not, you know, way off. Let's put the G1 cartoon up there just so we can look, and we'll do a quick 360. Here's the front. You've got some little silver accents here. You've got some translucent headlights here, just translucent clear. No detail on the rear mirrors or anything like that. On the sides, you've got painted wheels, and you have rubber tires on all four. Another little painted detail here for the grate. On the back, you've got some painted taillights there, red. So all in all, pretty good. I'm kind of surprised. I thought this was going to be junk. It does roll. Earlier, I had trouble having it roll, but I must have not had it transformed exactly right. So it does roll pretty nicely. It's nice and secure and smooth. It does have these two pieces here, so if you fold these up, you can actually attach the trailer from MP10. Here's the MP10 trailer, and you can see it's got those two tabs there, and those are going to fit into the slots there on the bottom. Just mesh those up. And it's a little bit tricky because they move on you, but you can get it in there. It doesn't fit tight, but once you get it in there, because this part rotates, but you don't get a lot of rotation, you can tow the trailer. For size comparison, here is with the X-Transbot's version of Sea Spray Neptune. Pretty much the same width there. Almost the same length, a little bit shorter. And as far as height-wise, he's a little bit bigger. And finally, there he is with the MP10, and much smaller, but pretty good scale in this mode. I like the size on this guy. So final thoughts on this guy. He's pretty fun. You know, it's easy to transform, but complex enough to still kind of fit in with the Masterpiece line. There are some little issues here and there, like so these shoulder joints, they could be a tad tighter, but then these could be a tad looser. I don't know why they put this so tight. Everything on this is really tight. The rotation of the thighs, the rotation of the shoulder, the rotation of the bicep, the rotation of the knee and elbow, everything is really tight. And that's not an issue except when you've got something like this, where moving that other joint, I guess I didn't talk about this, there's another joint inside there too, so you can get his shoulder all the way up to there. But because this rotation is so tight, you end up pulling this off. So that's the only real complaint I have with the articulation. Other than that, I mean, he can move. He can really move into whatever kind of pose you'd want him to. And I was kind of impressed by that, especially at this price point. So let's talk about that. So this price point, $35, it's a pretty good price point for a Masterpiece scale. Most of the others, are around $60 to $70 for this size masterpiece. Are you getting the same thing? Probably not. You're probably getting a little bit more die cast, probably a little more paint. Right, there's only paint on 2 pieces here. You're definitely probably getting a better head sculpt. That head sculpt's not great. I definitely recommend this if you don't have a Huffer and you're looking for one that's fairly low cost but still kind of fun. If you want more G1 accurate, I'd probably go with the Bad Cube instead of this. That's going to be a little bit higher quality and a little bit closer to the G1 cartoon. So that's really it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Hoping to get more figures soon. My retailer, Baba Bobo, he said that they are now shipping again. And he will be having, whenever they get stuff out from the factory, he'll be sending them out. So I hope to have more figure reviews in the future. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.